Yeah, I am embarrassed. I blew out my quad in slow pitch softball pitching. And in fact, I believe, Tim, it was just last week that I told you I didn't believe people could get hurt doing lunges. Does that sound right?
I don't remember you saying that, but I also didn't know that you were recording yet, so I just don't listen that well. But no, I started pretty much recording right as you were talking, so
it's an experiment. I've tried a few episodes lately where I start the episode like mid-conversation, and it seemed like a good entry point. Actually, like where if the first thing you hear is like, yeah, I blew out my quad, instead of like, and welcome to the show, how are you? I don't know, it felt like mixing it up.
Well, maybe it would possibly be better if it wasn't blowing out your quad playing softball, playing slow pitch softball.
Yeah. I was pitching. Our pitcher didn't show. I'm absolutely not a pitcher. And actually, until this Tuesday, I had only pitched one inning ever in my life. No practice pitches either, just straight into this one inning, and then now straight into this game. And yeah, I didn't believe it was the lunging motion. Apparently, if you do it wrong, you tweak stuff. Go figure. I mean, and then obviously the sprinting didn't help. That's what did me in. But I tweaked it just doing the pitching. So screw me. How's it going, Tim? You excited for the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't really realize it was happening. And then I saw people taking pictures, like people that don't have any business wearing either one of the team's jerseys, taking pictures and being like, yep, we're for them, or we're for, like, I don't.
So what, who is it? Like Chiefs and.
No, it's Chiefs and 49ers. So, yeah.
I thought that was the same team. Whoops.
No, that's because you're racist. I
thought it was the 49er Chiefs.
No,
are you telling me 49ers is in a city?
Though. Where are
Kansas
the Chiefs
City.
from?
Kansas City is a city.
Okay. So
isn't there a Kansas City in like Oklahoma?
What?
Isn't there a Kansas City in like Oklahoma? Doesn't that confuse people or something?
I don't know, probably. And then
or maybe there's an
Kansas
Oklahoma
probably
City
confuses people.
Yeah,
probably everything about the Midwest confuses a lot of people, because I think at that point they were just like, let's do whatever.
Yeah. What do you? I mean.
Wait. Although I liked Minnesota. I mean, that's the small little bit of interaction I've had with the Midwest. But I liked Minnesota. I liked how flat everything was. I liked just everyone was nice and attractive and taller than me, and wonderful people that made me look like the hobgoblin I am. But
the thing is, like, Minnesota. Excuse me. The Twin Cities, they definitely have some Midwest vibes. Like they're not.
I don't know what
they're not
is.
like New York. It's Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's where you were. They've got some Midwest vibe. They've got plenty of breweries. People are somewhat nicer compared to what, like New York City or whatever, L.A. But it still is missing some more of the Midwest, because 99% of the Midwest is, you can't see nothing but corn for literally, not exaggerating, as far as you can see. And that's the real Midwest. And obviously nobody really goes there except just driving through it. But I got to think it's slightly different than the Twin Cities.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so the Twin Cities are St. Paul and Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just right next to each other. I don't know why they're not just one city. I don't know.
the Twin Cities. Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, because I think Minnesota they have like a Somalian governor or...
Wait, what? I have no idea.
I think it's Minnesota.
Why would I keep up with state
I'm not asking you in particular. I just don't feel like checking now.
The nationality of state governors. I couldn't name a single state governor. Why?
No, because, I mean, the stereotype, and as it probably should be, is in the Midwest, if you're just straight Midwest, like you're saying, just farmers, you're not going to likely have a governor that's a female Somalian lady, who's governor. Again, I don't know exactly what position she has. I forget what her name is. She got in trouble.
Wait, I might know who you mean.
She was like Onita. No, no.
I think I would know the name if I heard it, but I wouldn't know anything about her.
She got in trouble for saying that Israel's bad or something. That was the last thing I heard about her as far as publicly. But yeah, I mean, I get that, and like most of the places where I was were just suburbs and strip malls. So it was pretty similar to like the outskirts of Pittsburgh, at least where I was. Like very suburbs, very I don't know, distant, but
yeah, exactly. It's definitely suburbs and not straight fields in Minneapolis.
No. Well,
what about? Hey, you've been to Arizona, Phoenix a few times. I guess obviously it's desert. You've seen the desert and the cactus and the lack of grass. But I guess you haven't really been here long enough to really feel that. Because for me, when I was growing up, I would hear people coming in from, who knows, whether it's, well, in Pittsburgh, everyone notices the hills and the bends and the trees. And I used to like literally like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just a hill. Yeah. Why? Like, shut up. Like, you think you're so great because you have never seen a hill before? But now, obviously, now I've seen Minneapolis, and it's like, there's no hills here. And same thing with trees. Like, I used to be like, you're literally just, I used to hate it. I used to think people were just being dicks. Like, why do I care that you claim you've never seen? I literally probably didn't believe them. As a kid, I thought they were just making crap up. Like, you're just trying to make conversation. Obviously, there's trees where you live. And now I'm in Arizona, and it's like there's no trees here.
Well, I mean, Arizona's a little bit of a drastic case, but
so yeah, I guess I would just be curious if you felt that, because when I go home, people used to say when I was a kid, like, they feel suffocated by the trees, and I notice it. I like it. I like that suffocation. It feels great. It's like a warm blanket or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm wondering if you felt that. But did we already might have covered all this on the podcast, didn't we?
I don't think so. I think we've talked about moving there. I don't think we've talked about trees suffocating. Like, we definitely haven't talked about trees suffocating.
Maybe I must have told someone else lately, because I know I talked about it lately. But yeah, did you feel that?
Suffocating, because I don't live near a bunch. I don't live out. Like, I can go to the woods, and I have before, but the only thing Pennsylvania really has is wood. As far as what we should be famous for, like the creepy woods you think of in like the Blair Witch, or just wood stories in general, like that's this part of the country.
Oh yeah.
That's not like the Pacific Northwest is something, but people also don't just wander around it because. Actually, I mean, I guess they probably do, but I think there's more industry out there. There just aren't as many people.
The Pacific Northwest is more airy and light, whereas on the East Coast, the forests are like thicker and denser and gnarlier.
I thought the Pacific Northwest was like
it's mostly densest. Pines. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like in certain areas.
I'm talking about like the Pacific Northwest has like the biggest like actual open woods. But
like maybe if you're talking like trees per acre mathematically, but in terms of just the feeling, the Northwest is just pines. Those aren't creepy. The Northeast is way gnarlier.
I still think you're wrong, but I get what you mean. Like it even just woods around a dog. I remember walking around like your farm at night, and all of it's just kind of creepy.
Yeah, because a few years after I moved, I wanted to show someone my old farm. So it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we just like slowly drove up that really long driveway. And obviously it wasn't my house anymore. I didn't know anyone there. And just like turned off my car lights, and just like all the gravel was cracking. And then we like got out of the car and like walked like 20 feet into the yard. It's like, yep, I'm done. Out. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's that creepy or you're just being creepy there. I don't know if it's anyone else's fault.
I wasn't blaming anyone.
I'm thinking like, but I mean, you were saying about coming back to someplace feeling, and I don't think I've been gone someplace enough to not acclimate to it. Probably closer to just like living in like yeah, never mind. That was going to be a stupid tangent. I'm trying to think of like just times being out in the woods, like, cause, and I don't talk to enough people who are moving around. Like you're talking about growing up and you had people say that. I didn't really ever have that. I had like part of my family who were from Baltimore come down, and it's like they're just as bad as where I'm living. Or I mean, not just as bad; they're worse than where I'm living.
Right.
As far as it just being this like, there's kind of just a dirty city, and then some woods a little bit. Although Maryland has less of that. I think I'd like to go down there again now because I just don't really remember the way there. I remember in Baltimore, but I don't remember like the way there and what we all drove through.
It's weird, like cities. Well, obviously some cities are just clearly big cities. Like I said, New York, LA, San Francisco, or I don't know, Phoenix is pretty big. But then, like we were saying, Kansas City, like, or even Minneapolis, it's weird now because I know it. But if I had never, I never went to Minneapolis until my senior year of college, which I never was a senior, but I would have been a senior at that time. And if I had never gone there, or until I had gone there, like, it was the most meaningless, pointless waste of space in my mind ever. Like, it's just like Kansas City is today. You bring up Kansas City, and I'm like, shut up. Like, nobody actually lives there. Like seriously, like I was saying when I was a kid, and I'm like, you're just making conversation. There's trust me, there's trees where you live. But there wasn't. And that's how I feel about Kansas City right now. It's like, just shut up. No, you don't actually like it there. Nobody wants to live there. Nobody cares about Kansas City. It probably doesn't even exist. Like, that's what goes through the back of my head. Like, just shut up. If you're actually from Kansas City, or I don't know, Des Moines, Iowa, like, just don't even talk to me. You're not from Des Moines, Iowa. But obviously there are people, and that's obviously with Minneapolis. It's like you go there and all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is a place. People do live here, and there's some good things about it. They've got really good beer here. So, okay. And, same thing with Baltimore. It's like, I've never been there. So it's like, yeah, I believe it exists. That one, I believe Baltimore exists.
It's in the news enough.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, no, geez. It's just like literally everyone shoots everyone every other day or something, you know? So that's...
No, it's gotten better, Daniel. They took all the guns away. They made them all illegal.
Oh, perfect. Well, then
so if you have a BB gun, you get in trouble, so everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. The last two episodes, Daniel's been super judgmental on people. He's just stunting on people. Telling people they don't live from places.
I've been doing this thing where I say stuff that goes through my head, even though it sounds a little obnoxious. Yeah. Just for kicks.
Yeah. So, that's good. Yeah.
The other day...
Well, that's the thing. Sorry, go.
Somebody asked me why I like being a programmer, and instead of giving them the usual, like, well, I grew up as a kid, and I found this book about programming in 7th grade, and it seemed pretty cool, so I did it, and I like it. No, the first thing I said was, to be honest, like, the computer has to obey me. It's like a big power trip. The computer cannot disobey me. Whatever I want the computer to do, it has to do. Like, that's just physics. That's math. That's what a computer is. It's just a combination of physics and math and maybe a little bit of chemistry. Like, it can't disobey me, and I love that power trip. So, I've been experimenting with those kinds of comments.
Huh. Okay. Well, whenever I signed off on that, I was not expecting this weird domination fantasy to come into play in the office. I don't think you're allowed to talk like that to people. I've been in your office. You're definitely not allowed to talk to people like that. Mr. Trump is watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were talking about cities that are like bigger cities. Like, Pittsburgh seems like it's really trying to be a big city, but it's not. And partly it's because I haven't driven in Phoenix, but riding in with you the 2 times I have, Phoenix terrifies me as far as just like the highways or like what you're looking. Because I've never been to LA, so I'm not used to just the giant like highway that goes over top of 7 other below them. Like there's like maybe a double on 376, or there's, you go in and you come in the bridges and there's the 2 bridges, you only have 50 feet to maneuver. I'm like, yeah, but you're not like in this dystopian, just like cement hellscape of just traffic everywhere. That, I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah. That's kind of similar. That's what I was saying about the bends. Pittsburgh is, and the hills. Pittsburgh is the roads are like smaller and more cramped. Like you said, like you might have 50 feet to like change 4 lanes. But in Phoenix, it's way bigger, but still, it's not always packed. It is always fast. I mean, everyone goes at least 20 over, and the speed limits can be 75 easily. So, I usually go, I set my cruise at like 10 over, and then people pass me. So,
yeah. Well, there are roads, though, out around here where, like, back roads and everywhere, you can go like 70, you can go 80, because we have, like, areas that aren't, and I guess it's probably going more into the center of the state, because I think Pittsburgh, the only reason why I think people are talking about how cramped Pittsburgh is versus all kinds of roads, it seems like, around here, is because Pittsburgh's like it used to be like the center of the city. So people aren't going to Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Although I guess Pittsburgh's kind of just built in a half, like, not valley, but there's some kind of I don't know what the shape of the thing is as far as like what it is, but just the place where it is, like, sorry, what?
Rivers?
No, because I know there are the rivers, but it seems like, I don't know.
Are you talking like downtown Pittsburgh?
I'm yeah. I mean, I'm kind of just qualifying like Allegheny County, I guess.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that one.
How much have you driven around Arizona?
So downtown, not much. I've literally been downtown maybe 4 times in 4 years. Because it's weird. It's like dead, and like actual downtown where like there's some office buildings and stuff. It's straight business. No one is there on the weekends, and it's dead. But obviously there's a bunch of suburbs like Scottsdale, Glendale, Surprise, Peoria. The list goes on and on and on. Those are more upbeat, they are suburbs, but they're pretty big suburbs compared to Pittsburgh. It's not like Moon. Or, it's not like Stowe, or, it's like really built up, really big suburbs, extremely hustle and bustle, whatever, like tons of food.
Like strip malls and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And also HOA. HOA is a big thing. So all the houses look the same. And they're really way newer, obviously, than Pittsburgh, way more modern. And it's just seas and seas of the exact same color houses of like Adobe, whatever you call that.
Windows, Adobe, Acrobat.
Yeah, it's like Acrobat. Acrobat, yeah. But where was I going with that? Oh, how much have I been around? So yeah, I've been through quite a few of those suburbs. And there are some more rundown suburbs closer to town. And then there's these really built up hustle bustle suburbs. So, and then outside of, sorry, go ahead. I don't know. Were you asking about farther outside? You said Arizona. You didn't say
I was going to say Arizona kind of just in general, but what were you going to say?
Oh, so I was just going to say farther outside, it gets pretty dead pretty quick. So I live like pretty far north of Phoenix, and any farther north of me, and it's just there's pretty much nothing. It's just mountains and hills until the next city, which is like Flagstaff or Sedona.
Okay. Yeah, because I went to Flagstaff a couple times.
For when you were here?
Yeah.
For what?
I paid for gas, right?
Probably.
I'm just thinking of that now. I don't know. I feel like I didn't do. Maybe I didn't. Anyway.
Screw you.
Just like it was the first time, I think, because the second time I like brought like my I wasn't using Daniel's laptop that like needed to be plugged in and would just occasionally go, "You don't have the battery." Anyway, I went to like restaurants. I went and got my hair cut.
In Flagstaff?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I went to like some pizza place and I was like, that was where I think I talked to the people, and then they told me about the place that you and I went and drank the one night. But the night before that we went to the cigar bar, like the first time I was out there?
No, the night before Magnum's?
It might have been Magnum's. I forgot that it was called that.
Did we go to Legends? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, in between the places, because if I'm describing Arizona to people, there's a city, and then there's just desert forever. And there's another city, and that, I mean, that makes sense. You were saying the HOA was big, because I was like, and it seems like people just build up just housing complexes around like stores. They have a Del Taco, which I didn't go to. I couldn't get myself to go to. Although I think I said this, coming back from your wedding, I got a chorizo sausage burrito.
Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, you wait. So finish your story. You were saying...
Well, no, just basically I ate a chorizo sausage biscuit, and then like, I don't know if it was a girl and her mother, but she was kind of cute, and like sat next to her. She just kept grabbing her nose the whole time, and I'm like trying to convince myself. And then my roommate picks me up and just goes, "Why do you smell like eggs? What is wrong with you?" I was like, oh, okay, good. What were you going to say? What did that remind you of?
Yeah, on one of your somewhat recent episodes, maybe like 4 or 5 ago, because I'm a little behind, you said something that you knew was going to get my attention, and you said I was going to have to bring it up to you. And that was, I think it was about you waking up or like freaking out that you were going to miss your flight or something before on your way to Minneapolis.
Yeah, for like a week beforehand, and it was worse because I was, I was dreaming a lot more than I usually do.
Oh goodness!
Like just
after this, I got to share my dream from just last night.
Okay, good. But I just kept on of just like going to an airport and I don't wake up and I'm not like, oh, what a terror. I'm just like, okay, it didn't happen. Like, I don't even feel good. It's just like, well, now it's going to happen. And I like probably every night I had some kind of weird, dumb dream. And then I was just drinking. So like I almost fell asleep the first night in the shower. and then the night that I was leaving, I woke up after like 6 hours of sleep and was like...
You left at night?
No, I left early in the morning.
Okay.
I left... Tyler, one of our friends and I left Daniel's wedding and went and got like half-price appetizers at some weird grill. I got French fried onions and beef stickers or something, which I'm pretty sure just the French's.
Do you know
fried
what the place was called?
I forget what it was. It was some kind of sports bar. Like it had like a sports theme and everything.
Bunnies?
What?
Was it called Bunnies?
I don't think so. It was a long, low building. There were booths. There was like a main bar to it. We drank a little bit more there, and then I just sweated all night because I don't know, the place where I was living was weird. So it was just an uncomfortable time. I don't do well. I don't know. I get too worked up over things, especially if I only have alcohol to calm me down. I start, because it does nothing for me. It takes no edge off of.
It's been kind of scaring me lately. Like
what?
Alcohol. I think I've said this before, but like I like every time I drink, even if it's just like 2 or 3 beers, I'm just like paranoid of a hangover, and I have 2 or 3 beers enough that I have a bit of a tolerance, and it doesn't really affect me either. So then I don't feel great. and then I just freak out about like, am I going to be hungover? So yeah, which is probably good. You know, that I have no interest in going much harder. So that's probably good.
No, there's almost nobody is more interesting when they're hammered. Nobody is more fun when they're like, he's great, he's so much fun. It's like all this dude does is scream. All he does is that's all he knows. Which me saying is kind of disingenuous. That is kind of my go-to as far as social interaction, is just yell as loud as possible because people are then like, oh. But yeah, no, again, you need to get on booze instead of beer if you're going to drink. Just have some whiskey. Yeah, booze instead of beer.
Beer isn't booze?
I don't know. I always thought I call liquor booze.
People got on me for calling Nikes Nikes. People were like, know, it's Nike, right? I'm like, yeah, but it's Nike for short.
Yeah, people are real weird about making sure that a brand name is pronounced correctly. Like, no, it's Gap. I bought this, and that means it's good because it has that thing on there. So pronounce it right. Make sure you don't say this wrong. They're Nikes. They're not Nikes. They're Yeezys. What are those things that you paid $400 for? Yeah, but Kanye West is I don't know. I haven't listened to really anything from him. But
apparently he's been doing like Christian revival stuff, and
yeah, kind of. It's just like, Jesus is Lord. I'm gonna go fuck Kim. I mean, they're married, so I guess it's okay.
So, did you know that the guy that married me, that you saw obviously marry me, was the same guy that married Kim Kardashian?
No.
Well, now you know.
Oh,
in Minneapolis.
That's good. Why in Minneapolis?
Oh, I don't know if that's where they got married. That's where we got married, and you saw him.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So our marriage is just as legit as Kim and Kanye.
I won't. I'll hold my peace.
So I gotta tell you the stream. Tim is gonna appreciate this more than the general audience, but I think it's just obnoxious enough that everyone else out there is still gonna have a good laugh. So there is 3 parts to the stream, not at all related. I don't know why I just had maybe 3 separate dreams. The last one is the one that I remember the best and the funniest. But so the first one at work, for whatever reason, we got a giant, like almost like courthousey Gothic, like a lot of oak and fancy woodwork, almost like a church. We got a new conference room, but with stadium seating for like thousands of people. So what? There is like almost like a Supreme Court or like a Capitol building. It was a conference room, but with tons of seating. Well, with a normal conference table in the middle and just a crap ton of stadium seating. And that was about it from the first stream. I don't know. They like kicked us out of it for a second to try to decide if they should let people watch every single meeting. And then finally they're like, all right, we won't be able to stop them. So sure, just let people come into the seating anytime and watch every meeting in here. So that was one, whatever. Dumb.
But the general population? Is that what you mean? Or
Yeah,
just
the employees, but also, yes, there was randos there too. It was weird. Then second dream, I don't remember much. Something about underwater cave, but like there was like an air bubble trapped in there, so you could you could swim into the cave and then swim up and like breathe and stay there. So that was interesting. And then third dream, it all started in the sanctuary of my old church / school, and there were a lot of people there, including Tim's drinking buddy from my wedding, and including some elementary kids that I remember from back in because it was kindergarten, or actually preschool through 12th grade, all in the same like 200-yard building for all you out there listening. And 200 yards long, and like probably 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12 or 15 classrooms for all of that. And yeah, so we were in the sanctuary, and playing a game of football, almost like a gym class, but with all grades involved. So high school was playing and the elementary was playing, and the pews were still in there. So we were playing football like around all the pews. And for whatever reason, I was sick of it. I was like, I just wanted to like, I don't remember why. I just wanted like a quiet room to myself or whatever. So I was trying to get out of this football game, and I was quarterback. So I had this plan. I promise you, I'm not trying to like convince you that this is like the most hilarious dream ever, and like I'm gonna be. It's just weird. So why not? I'm just saying all this stuff. I decided that maybe Tim, while I'm explaining all this, see if you can figure out if there's like an interpretation that makes sense. Because I know you're a good like seance.
I have plenty right now.
All right, so let me know here in a minute. Yeah, I wanted to get out of this busy football game, and so I was quarterback, and I decided my plan would be to just score a touchdown and move, like split while everyone was celebrating. So in order to score that touchdown, I somehow just jumped and started flying over everyone and just flew all the way to the end zone, and just a ton of people were like running back and forth, jumping over pews, and I just waited there like hovering like a fairy or something until someone on my team happened to break free, and I just dropped the ball and they caught it in the end zone. Great. Cool. Touchdown. I run away while everyone's celebrating. So I run down the hall towards the elementary classrooms, and I'm just looking for an empty classroom. And I open several. None of them are empty. And I'm annoyed. Like, some of them have classes going on. I'm just like, for whatever reason, I just want a quiet room to myself. Finally, I get to the very end of the hall. Normally, the doors would open out into this giant field where we had recess. But for whatever reason, the very last door opened into like a supply closet. And there was a guy in there who had taken over the closet as his office just recently. He had been working there for about a week. This guy is not from real life, Tim. This guy, I did not recognize him. He's not somebody that we knew. Just some rando in his 20s with like somewhat nerdy glasses, dark hair. And apparently I opened the door, and apparently he's only been working there for a week. And the first thing he says to me is, well, I fell in love in Chicago, and I fell in love here. And he starts telling me this story how he starts telling me that he apparently at some other school in some other city, I think Chicago, but it doesn't really matter. He fell in love with one of his job was a therapist or like a counselor for the kids. And he said that in this old city, he fell in love with one of the kids, and obviously he had to move away. and then apparently he's only been there a week, and he thinks it happened to him again.
I love another kid. Yeah. It can't be something wrong with me. It's these kids keep on appearing. All right. So do you have anything else to bury yourself with?
I'm almost done. So he tells me this story, and he's getting fired because of it like a week after he started. And then I'm like in his classroom or in his closet. I have like no idea who he is until he starts telling me this story. And I'm just like listening to him. And then one of my co-hosts, Ryan Tofill over from Unpopular Opinions, who did not go to that school. I did not know him until I moved to Phoenix. He like busts through this closet door. And like I'm stuck behind the door. He doesn't even know I'm back there. And he just like there's cardboard boxes as well that I'm trapped between a pile of empty cardboard boxes and this door. And Ryan just like keeps like bouncing the door off me and like pushing it back. But he doesn't know I'm back there. Well, he knows something's back there. So he just looks at the guy and he says, "What's this? You got a kid stashed back there so you can diddle him?"
Okay, this adds new elements. Because at first I was going to be like, well, Daniel is falling in love with computers, and he's trying to think of a way to make this even somewhat relatable.
Yeah.
So he's going with the teacher and the student way instead of the thing that must obey all of his commands and how great they are because of it. He's definitely not because he's fantasizing about having a harem of just PCs that you probably wouldn't be jailbroken. You'd probably keep all the bloatware on them. But switching to, but then you turned out to be the kid. Now, did you look,
wait, what?
Were you the child at that point?
No.
Do you ever have dreams where, I know this is a separate and go back to it, but do you ever have dreams where you are a different age?
I don't think so. Cause as far as I could tell in this dream, I was my current age. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Like,
I've never had old man Tim dreams, but I've had like kid dreams.
I don't know. I don't think I was attending school. I don't remember anything about the dream that suggested I was attending. Like, it was kind of like a gym class, but there was no teacher. I wasn't like participating. It just happened to be a football game in that room. I wasn't like attending school.
Yeah. Well, okay. Jumping all the way back to the beginning of all of this mess, just the fact that you think that the most inconspicuous thing to do to be able to sneak off is to fly and then just hover the second coming.
The goal of flying was just to score the touchdown.
I understand, but you're like, this won't attract attention. This will be fine. And your dream mind was like, do you want to fly? And you're like, yeah, I want to fly. And then you flew. And you went, whoa.
That's pretty recurring. I've had quite a few flying dreams. And
I haven't had very
also quite a few breathing underwater dreams. Like, I've had dreams where I like can float up and down, and then I can go underwater and also still float up and down and swim and fly underwater, whatever, and also just constantly breathe.
Does it feel different when you're breathing underwater?
Feel different than breathing above water?
Yeah, in the dream. Like, is there a different sensation to it?
I mean,
because I've had dreams like that before, but then there's a different sensation. Like, a lot of my dreams aren't as much, and this is even when I was younger, there weren't like clear images. It was mostly like sensate. Like, if I had a dream of running away from something, I would just feel like something, like tingling in my back to the point where it was just like terrifying as far as that. Instead of like looking and seeing something someplace.
I don't think I've had that in a dream, no. But maybe kind of similar. I do get almost tingling. It's probably more mental, but definitely some sort of like tangible feeling when, well, it used to be going upstairs. When I was halfway up a staircase, I would for whatever reason. Maybe I have told you this. I would think someone was behind me, and I would feel the urge to like sprint up the stairs.
Yeah, that's right. Like the tingling, just like this kind of feeling of just dread that kind of not in your shoulders, but like in like the base of your skull.
Yeah, like I don't remember where exactly, but it was some sort of tangible, like, I need to sprint up these stairs, and I won't be safe until I'm at the top. And I think the reason why is because the house I grew up in had a painting or some sort of picture at the bottom of just almost like the Mona Lisa, but it wasn't. It was just like some girl just like staring, and it was like, apparently it creeped me out, and I had to sprint away from it. So anyway, yeah, football and flying and creepy therapists.
It's for maybe the therapist. Maybe you feel like someone is going to try to attack you because you are vulnerable right now with your blown out ACL from.
Is that what that is? Your quad?
No. Would you say your thigh?
It's like literally like a Charlie horse, like the right smack in the middle of the front of my quad.
Oh, no, you're probably just not used to lunging. Like, it's just.
Right.
No, I mean, ACL, like an ACL tear, that's like.
What's your ACL? Your knee or something?
I'm not exactly. I believe it's.
There's ACL and there's MCL.
I mean, both of them are not good to tear. I think those aren't muscles so much. I think those are more the ligament. believe those are the ligaments. Okay. So those are like what act, like the muscles are what power the joint moving, but I think the ligaments are what allow it to move without just floating freely.
Yeah.
So then one of those things go, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I forgot that Daniel doesn't like
hanging in there. I was on that exact same staircase with that creepy picture at the bottom. I ran down that too fast one time, and like they call it hyperextending. I like bent my knee the wrong way and just like fell the rest of the way down the stairs. So coming full circle here.
It was her watching you.
Probably.
No, I've definitely gotten that with steps, especially going down into my basement wasn't so bad, but definitely going back up because there's spaces in between the steps. I'm like, I'm going to be going up, and then someone's going to grab me.
Yeah.
That, and then like I said, going out in the woods, like doing this stuff with the search and rescue dog team, just like hiding out in the woods and just kind of like listening, or like out at the soccer things at your farm, just wandering. Like, oh, I'm sorry, we were talking about dreams, but we can kind of ramble about everything. But
it's been a good night.
I've definitely had the dreams where you breathe underwater. Did you ever play Sonic?
A tiny bit.
There's a water level where you breathe underwater using bubbles, and I've had that in multiple dreams. I've also had where I can just breathe through water in dreams. As far as you said you have, what did you say you have recurring in dreams? Flying
and breathing underwater. That's pretty regular. Okay. Not pretty regular, like maybe once every like 3 or 4 months. How
often do you dream that you remember?
Maybe like once a month.
Okay.
Maybe twice a month. And even when I remember it, it's only barely. The only reason I remembered this one is because as soon as I woke up, I knew that it was super weird, and I like kept repeating it to myself. I'm like, I got to tell Ryan this story and Tim or whoever. It's just funny. Like, not even funny. It's just weird. So I'm just
concerning. You're looking for concerning.
Concerning?
Troubling.
Wait, what was concerning about it?
Oh, so many different things. So many. And
besides
then
the army of PCs or whatever, that wasn't even part of the dream.
Harem of PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it was in my interpretation of it, so it is in there now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you have like the public embarrassment dreams?
No, that's mostly just what happens to me during the day.
Okay, yeah, I haven't had those. I have like I did something that isn't like necessarily frowned upon, but because of circumstances, it looks very bad. Like I've had multiple dreams where like someone's tried to grab me and I've shot them, and then everyone's like, "You piece of shit!" And like people like pick it outside the house, and those are the ones where I wake up. I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" Like, because again, I wasn't too worried about missing Daniel's flight, but those are the dreams that seem like they go on and on and on and on to the point where I'm like, all right, well, this is my life now. I get to deal with these people tomorrow. And one other thing you said, just before I forget again, that the doorway you said you went into to get into the guy's closet. I've had a dream where there was something else beyond. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but some kind of a building.
It's like a wardrobe.
It wasn't a closet with some weird therapist pedophile. Thankfully, if it had been Daniel, I would have killed myself already. If I knew that we were sharing, if that man was real, I was like, he's coming for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. That's weird that we both have... I wonder if those are like special doors. Like it's like the wardrobe, Narnia or something.
Well, no, they were just shitty. They were just like... and I'm sure people got hit with them a lot.
Yeah.
Just kick them open.
I also... this would have been interesting to talk about today as well, but we're out of time. I have dreams about... my teeth, losing teeth, or like getting teeth pulled, or damaging my teeth, and it's for obvious reasons. It scares the crap out of me that my teeth are pretty bad, and I hate the dentist, and so we could have had a whole conversation about that because I was just there the other day. But maybe we'll save that for next week because the studio is scheduled for Ryan here in a few minutes, which means Tim, we got to tell you what. If you want to dream big, if you want to make it in this world, well, I can't promise you anything, but I can tell you you're going to love eToro. It it's like straight out of your dreams. It's the crypto trading platform of your dreams. Let's see if I can get logged in here, if I remember my password. Oh, geez, I don't. Let me see here.
Open what?
There we go.
I'm
We're
still
in
not
now.
doing too great. But yeah, no, you can follow your dreams in virtual reality with their virtual currencies. You say you got it?
Yeah. So here's the spiel, guys. Like I said, I can't promise you anything. None of this is trading advice. I don't know anything about timing the markets or yada, yada, yada. So with that out of the way, aside from all of that, the platform is incredible. It seriously is straight out of your dreams. Although, based on today's discussion, that would mean it's creepy and fairy-like and yeah, so maybe not. But it's amazing, guys. 14, 15, right thereabouts, that many different cryptos they have to buy and sell. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Zcash, just to name a few. Their interface is slick. They have great charts, great data. It's all real time. I'm looking at it now, and all these numbers keep flashing as stuff changes, red or green. Obviously, red is down, green is up. Unless you're colorblind, then sucks for you. But here you go, guys. The number one thing, without a doubt, the number one feature, in my opinion, you might have a different opinion, but in my opinion, is their free, instant $100,000 virtual portfolio. It takes literally 30 seconds to sign up if you can type fast, and you'll instantly have this $100,000 virtual portfolio to buy, sell, trade, copy other traders. That's maybe the second most interesting feature, in my opinion. You can find someone else's portfolio that you like and want to follow and trust, and you can copy their portfolio percentage-wise. So if they have half of their money in Bitcoin, you can allocate, say, $200, and half of that will go into Bitcoin, and then maybe a quarter into something else and a quarter into something else. You're just going to copy this person's portfolio. It's amazing. Guys, you can find them at meandbtc.com/trade. Check them out. Try out the virtual portfolio. And of course, Tim, you can join our competition if you'd like. Send us a tweet at meandbtc of your virtual portfolio. Maybe take a screenshot. Tell us how you're doing. And we'll tell you how we're doing. Hit me, Tim. Where you at?
Well, I'm at 94,950, so just below 95.
Oh.
Just below
So down a bit
95K.
from last week. Last week,
Yeah.
You were up towards what, 101 maybe last week?
Yeah, I was breaking that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bled a little bit more. Bitcoin, I've still lost almost $7,000.
Okay.
Ethereum, 2,000.
And this is our virtual equity that we're talking about. So we've taken this $100,000 virtual, and we've invested it in all this stuff. We bought some stuff. We've sold some stuff. We bought some more stuff. And it's obviously we're competing to see who can make more money. Last week, I think I was at like 110 or thereabouts, 112. I am now sitting at $107,000 worth of virtual equity. If you want to know what my portfolio is, I can tell you. I have about $47,000, almost $48,000 in Bitcoin. So pretty much half of my portfolio is Bitcoin. Next up would be $23,500 of Ethereum Classic. That did extremely well for me. That's my most profit so far. I've made $7,600 on Ethereum Classic, which means I'll dump a little bit. I'll take my profit and get rid of some ETC. I'm going to get rid of my oldest positions like I did last week. But again, this is obviously not trading advice. This is not how you don't just dump your oldest positions based on their age alone. I would imagine. I don't even know. Maybe you do. What do I know? But let's see. Can we sort by date here? 11/6. 9/12. Oh, I don't know which dates. 9/12. Yep, 9/12 is the oldest. And close position. Close trade. Take profit. Let's close another one. And another one. Super easy, guys. A few clicks to buy, a few clicks to sell. And obviously, there's really advanced stuff if you want to, stop loss or whatever. I don't even know what they're all called. But you can set a price, and as soon as it hits that price, you'll buy or sell. You can do anything you want, anything you would expect from a professional trading platform, of course. Okay, so I've got $21,000 up for trade here, and I want to buy stuff. I want to buy stuff that has dropped, of course. Litecoin is down quite a bit for me. I do have a little bit of Ripple, unfortunately. I don't know, Tim, what do you want me to buy? I could invest in copying one guy.
I mean, that's probably still the best bet as far as just copying people.
Yeah, I'll do it. I copied one guy before, and I'll just pick... Oh, Crypto 101 Kevin. Can't go wrong with that guy. So there's a risk score for all of these people. I wonder... I'm going to pick a super high risk. So I see some 7s here, 6, 5. Does anyone have higher than 7? There's a 4. I don't know if I can sort by risk. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Risk score. High. Let's say 7 and up. Apply. Okay, fancy. Let me see if there's any 8s over here. 8 and up. Apply. No 8s. All right, so I guess I got to take a 7. There we go. And return last 12 months. A lot of these guys are up, but I want to pick a guy that's actually not up much because that would suggest he has more room to grow. So one guy is up 80% in 12 months. But I'm going to take the guy that's only up 8% in 12 months. Who knows? Cool Crisis. That's his username, I guess. Cool Crisis, I think. Matthew Westover. $1,000 to copy your trade. Copy. There you go. The deed is done. And I'll buy something else. Who knows? Obviously, I know you guys can't see this. You can't check out a few of our past video episodes on YouTube, and you will be able to see it. Just our recent ones, our past maybe 10, 20 or so episodes. Find them in there. Portfolio, what's dropped the most? XRP, but I don't want to buy more. Litecoin. Litecoin's down 15% in my portfolio, so time to buy some more. How about 2,000? I'll make it 4,000. 3,5. There you go. Open trade. Done. Guys, it's been a blast. I love you. Any last words, Tim?
No, just don't have dreams. Don't think about airports. And if you do have dreams, don't tell them to somebody else on a podcast. Keep them to yourself. And never reveal what they
That's
tell
true,
about
guys.
you.
You probably know my greatest weaknesses now.
Oh, yeah.
Footballs, pews, and empty classrooms.
Did you ever watch the movie Ex Machina?
No, but I have had... It sounds like it's right up my alley, so I really want to.
It's a pretty good movie. I was just going to say it's going to be you, but there's not going to be any, I won't ruin anything.
Okay, I'll actually find it right now at the public library. So,
what was the coughing?
Well,
anyway.
The special public library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, good night, guys. Love you. Check out our sponsor, you, me, and BTC.com/trade. We'd love that, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you guys.